I guess we're going to go with take 9 on this one. Yeah. So I've been working on the intro animation a bit, trying to make it look nicer, more eye-catching and whatnot. So you'll probably see it evolve over the next several videos to its final form, or perhaps not. I'll probably keep going. Anyway, welcome back to the Miguel Smith Writing Channel. I'm your host, Miguel Smith, and I'm here to discuss the first character that I ever created. So how best to describe him? I think the best way to explain him without spoiling any of the books that you haven't read, or just looking for more context about him, would be this. I'd have to look back at what inspired me to create him in the first place. I'm going to have to thank a lot of people that I don't have time to in this video, so I guess I'll just focus on my parents. My mom really loved literature and storytelling. She would spend a lot of time most weeks watching shows like Masterpiece Theater. I suppose you could say a lot of that rubbed off on me, certainly the paths that I've taken since then. My father was also a major influence, in particular his love of pop culture in his childhood in the 1940s and 50s. Yeah, throughout my life he's shared these things with me, and I'm certainly grateful for his influences in that respect. I guess I could point to 3 films at the very beginning that were the most influential in the 1980s. The first, of course, was Flash Gordon from 1980. It established the archetype, the hero thrust into an unfamiliar situation, and then having to find his way through somehow by leaning on his cunning and ability to bring together people for a common purpose. Didn't hurt that the soundtrack was done by Queen. I guess you could say it struck a chord with my very young mind, this grand scale of adventure and whatnot. The next film I would say is going to be The Legend of the Lone Ranger. Say what you will about the quality of the film. I liked it. Of course, I was, 4 years old at the time, so take that for what you will. Anyhow, he was that enigmatic hero, and answering the call of the ethereal William Tell Overture. When you're that young and you hear something like the William Tell Overture, it imprints itself on your soul. I don't care who you are. I even like that one from 2013. Sorry, I'm that guy. I'm part of the problem. The next film, of course, was The Man from Snowy River. This was a 1982 film following the story of a young man. Fate put on a course to take charge in spite of being the youngest guy there. And the main driving conflict, of course, of this entire story was there were a lot of people around him with deep self-interests, and certainly people that would engage in very dishonest tactics, and unfortunately he was the target of that. So that really resonated with me. Certainly the injustice of people that he placed his trust in that threw him under the bus. So where did I go from there? I guess you could say these themes and more stuck with me for years, taking on one adventure after the next, and he would take many forms over lots of different genres. Tested the waters with his character just pretty much everywhere, and it's helped him to become the character he is today, 40 years later. I really didn't give him a proper name until I saw a bottle of tequila from Mexico. I turned it around and there was this word on the back. It just popped. And in summary, I think it just came together after that. Like with a gravitational pull, just got sucked into this singularity that became this character. And of course, I absorbed a lot of media after that, and he had a lot further influences. Of course, the gun he always wore was some version of a Colt single-action army. Eventually, I ran across the Ruger Vaquero. The transfer bar was something that I thought was pretty nifty, so eventually it became his nickname. And in conclusion, over 40 plus years, his backstory, of course, has gone through a lot of changes, though some things have remained from the very beginning. As you follow along with my writing, you will come to know all about him, and it's my pleasure to introduce you all to him. Thanks for stopping by, and, well, I'll get started working on the next video.